Ministerial expenses for the period 1st July 2021 to the 30th of June 2022.
Thank you, Premier. My apologies. Are there any ministerial notices of motion? Are there any ministerial statements? I call the Honourable Premier.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Mr Speaker, this afternoon I will be attending the National Cabinet meeting in Sydney. This will be followed by the National Skills and Jobs Summit in Canberra. Both are vital, both are connected. The COVID pandemic is by no means over. Let me repeat that we are still in the grip of this pandemic and National Cabinet was formed to confront it. So far, Queensland has managed better than most. Almost alone in the world, our people were able to be vaccinated before the virus arrived. Thanks to the people of Queensland, our lockdowns were limited. That strong health response led to our very strong economic recovery. Mr Speaker, there are 213,000 more people in work today than there were before COVID. In fact, we have more jobs than people to fill them. But the gaps in our workforce mean gaps in our recovery. Hotels that can't capitalise on the resurgent tourism industry because they don't have enough cleaners to open more rooms. There's gaps in supermarket shelves because their suppliers can't find staff. Just as we did in the pandemic, we summoned employers, unions, workers and educators. They helped draft the workforce strategy that I will take to Canberra. Mr Speaker, at the launch of this strategy yesterday, I met Nick Lindsay. His company, Gilmore Space, builds and launches satellite-bearing rockets from the Bowen Space Facility. He told me the biggest obstacle to finding his staff is young people who don't believe in themselves. So they no longer set prerequisites for job applicants. Just give me good people who build things, who try and fail and learn, he said. They pay their employees bonuses for recruiting their like-minded friends. They've grown from a couple of dozen employees to now over 140. Mr Speaker, belief is everything. I believe we will overcome this challenge just like all the rest, and Queensland will be better as a result. Mr Speaker, a great example of what we're doing in Queensland to provide skills and training on government projects is Cross River Rail. This is Queensland's largest infrastructure project being built for Queenslanders by Queenslanders, 2,700 at the moment, and young Queenslanders. So far, 342 apprentice and trainee opportunities have been generated by the project. Our target is 450. The project alone has more than 1.3 million training hours clocked up already. That's because we've required each major contractor to develop and implement plans that involve training and upskilling the local workforce. People like Brock, a first-year apprentice carpenter who has been developing skills, demolishing concrete and building wooden structures. Bailey, an apprentice with a background in construction, is expanding his knowledge base through undertaking a Certificate 3 with BE Steel Fixing. Mr Speaker, today I can advise the House that Queensland Rail is now hiring 86 new graduates, apprentices and trainees in the next 12 months as part of Queensland's rail revolution. In one of the largest graduate intakes in Queensland Rail's history, 31 engineering, IT and business graduates will join the team. Better yet, as many as 55 apprentices and traineeship opportunities will be offered across a number of trades to build a new generation of railway workers. That's a total of 86 new apprentices and graduates across the whole of Queensland to boost the technical and trade workforce as we deliver major rail projects from the Gold Coast right through to Mount Isa. Mr Speaker, Queenslanders know and trust our government's priorities, which are focused on them for good jobs, better services and great lifestyle. Our policies are based on core principles which include addressing the cost of living and keeping public assets in public hands. Together, these two fundamentals have enabled us to deliver a $175 in cost of living relief from the electricity bills of all Queenslanders. And, Mr Speaker, I can advise that households will start getting the benefit of that rebate from today. The rebate will be automatically credited to bills which include August 31st and will appear on residential bills over the next quarter. Mr Speaker, this is good policy helping people with the cost of living. And finally, Mr Speaker, as I announced last sitting, the entire Cabinet is heading to the Torres Strait next week. I want to thank the member for Cook for lobbying the Cabinet to this very special part of Queensland. It's the first time a state Cabinet has met there in 11 years. Ministers will start travelling up over the weekend and on Monday and begin engaging with the community as soon as they can. I'll meet with councils and mayors as well as inspect the $46 million Thursday Island Hospital redevelopment, an important investment from my government, which is supporting around 50 jobs. The Cabinet will also hold deputations for any issues the community would like to raise. We will also hold a traditional community reception at the Cultural Centre. I'm also excited to see that students at Targai State College on Tuesday with Minister Grace, and we'll see our investment there. And I also understand some students will go through the U for 32 training to see if they are on the starting line for the Olympic and Paralympic Games. Mr Speaker, I will also visit the Cape for a significant land handback ceremony with my ministers. We'll travel over the rest of the Cape during parts of next week. Mr Speaker, we're looking forward to travelling up to the Torres Strait. It's very important to engage across Queensland, and I'm very grateful that the ministers will be attending this very significant event for the members.